I feel like I should be not bomb. And action. Swing. Yikes. Hi everyone and welcome to my let's try that again. Hi everybody and welcome to my new installation that is called Venting with Stella, where I will be talking fairly regularly about things that just completely irk me as a South African, as a woman, as a black South African woman, as a black South African Xhosa woman, as a black African woman, as a human being, because I can. The very first thing that I wanted to talk about today, I feel very passionately about this subject matter, exceptionally passionately about this subject matter, and I don't know, actually no, I do know why, and I will explain to you today as to why I feel very passionately about this. I am fuming. I think when I read a news article, and I've been trying so hard to not read news articles, but my phone, it's got this notification thing that I don't know how to switch off, where I just keep every 30 minutes I get a new news headline. And so last week, or maybe during the course of this week, it was the final straw that broke my back, or maybe a camel. I don't know, I don't care. The fact that the SABC is carrying on trying to charge people TV licenses when it's got nothing to do with the SABC. For us consuming Netflix, Showmax, YouTube, they for us using the internet, and they want to charge us a fee for it. Yep, I'm slightly irritated. So I've got a few points. I've got about 5 points that I want to address as to why their argument to me does not make sense. I'm open to be educated about this, and I've done some research. I'll be not like thesis level research. I'm also an analyst by profession, so I mean, I'm also a woman, and we just analyze everything. Anyway, I'm gonna try to not let my blood boil, because it has been boiling so much so that I'm joking on something that I do not know. Give me a second. I'm back. First things first. Yes, I am the realist, but number one, let's talk about the definition of the internet and why I don't see a correlation between broadcasting and the internet. I went and I read up. I work in the IT industry. I had someone also explain to me how the internet works to me last year, and I am telling you, it talks about packets and protocols, and fiber talks about light, and there's absolutely no correlation whatsoever between broadcasting as well as the internet, which is how I currently consume a lot of my content. Actually, all of the content that I really consume. I haven't had a TV in like 10 years. Number two, buying a TV. Now I'm going to walk into Game or any store, whatever, that sells a television. I will fork out a few thousand rands for me to be able to have that television. I will come and bring it to my house. You, SABC, cannot prove beyond reasonable doubt that I will be watching SABC, that I will be consuming SABC related content. I might just be wanting to, maybe leading on to my third point, to use it for DSTV. Fair enough. On DSTV, you do get the SABC channels, but if I had a TV and I had DSTV, I would be paying 7 million rand for that DSTV. So let me give you a piece of advice. Have the conversation with DSTV. Let them pay you, because DSTV is your consumer. I would be the consumer of DSTV. You cannot go and charge the consumer of the consumer for something that you've already sold to the first consumer. That doesn't make any sense. Which leads me to my fourth point. Consuming Netflix, Showmax, as well as YouTube. Now, let me tell you something. I also pay for Netflix. I also pay for Showmax. And I believe I pay for YouTube because I keep having to watch all those terrible ads. I mean, they are bad. If there's any content on Netflix that is maybe produced by the SABC, you can bet your bottom dollar that the SABC has already sold that content to Netflix. Again, you cannot charge the consumer of the consumer. You sold the content, I'm buying the content from Netflix. You go ahead and have that conversation with Netflix, Showmax, or whichever platform, Amazon, Hulu, whatever platform that is providing your content. Not me. Don't force me to pay for something that I'm currently not consuming. 5. Here's an idea. Target people who buy TVs and use the SABC channels. I don't know if there's one, there's SABC 1, there's SABC 2, there's SABC 3. I heard once there's SABC 4. I don't know. Again, I have not consumed SABC in good 12 plus years. Okay, 11 plus years. Okay, wait, I was trying to think. When was the FIFA World Cup? That was 2010, so it's about 11. Yes, about 11 years ago, I have not owned a television. You, as SABC, go and track down those people that are currently consuming content illegally on their televisions. I don't know if you can download SABC off the interwebs. Do not let that. If you can download it, then do not let it be free to download. Charge people for it. Let people pay for it. And leave the rest of us who choose. The last time I checked, South Africa was a free country and I could choose what I wanted to do, the content that I wanted to consume. And if that does not include SABC related content, I should not have to pay for it. I don't care if it's once a year. It's still 200 Rand that I could use for half a tank of petrol. Finally, now I'm not the type of person to come up with problems and not necessarily present solutions. I would like to suggest something to you, SABC. Are you listening to me? Take a seat. I'll give you a second or two. You're welcome. Okay, here we go. Start creating content that we find valuable. Sell it to us. Trust me, the majority of South Africans are very patriotic. We want to consume content that is relevant to us. I do not want to constantly be consuming content that comes from America, that comes from England or Russia. I don't want to be consuming content constantly that is not from our own country. I want to hear stories that are relatable and relevant to me. I want to hear stories about people that look like me and do that. Pretend like you care about us instead of finding ways to punish us constantly with your incompetencies, with your corruption, and with your subpar content. Get your act together, SABC. Stella,